Our story today is the 2010 South Korean historical romantic drama called The Servant. We begin with the biggest gangster in town, Bangja. Bangja is narrating his life story to a novelist. He says that he was once a servant. We then see his past when he is 30 years old. His housemate is an old man named Mr. Ma. Mr. Ma is a major womanizer. He even makes a move on his servant. Bangja's employer is a rich man named Mong Ryong. One day, Bangja takes him to a medieval-era dance club. There he sees Chung-young for the first time. Chung-young is the daughter of the owner. She is a beautiful and charismatic woman. All the men fall in love with her immediately. Bangja is no exception and falls for her hard. But of course, when I say all the men fall for her, I mean all the men. Bangja's master, Mong Ryong, commands him to set up a meeting with her for him. So Bangja goes to do as asked. He starts praising his master to Chung-young. However, Mong Ryong comes in just then and slaps Bangja, all to impress Chung-young with his macho-ness. Another one of Chung-young's admirers comes in and tries to provoke Mong Ryong, so Bangja beats him and is about to do his finishing move. But just then, more people arrive and the old dude is saved. At home, Mr. Ma finds Bangja too honest and simple-minded to get a girl, so he starts giving him training in Womanizing 101. The next day, Bangja uses his trainings on Chung-young's handmaiden, Hangdan, and arranges a date for their two masters. While the two masters have their date, the two servants also start to bond. After a while, their masters come back for a double date. Chung-young and Hangdan are really impressed by the way Bangja held his own against the aggressor the previous day. Suddenly, Chung-ya slips and loses her shoe into the stream. Bangja is the one to dive in and retrieve it. He hands Chung-young her shoe in front of his master. Like salt on a wound, he also carries Chung-young home when she sprains her ankle. In the present day, the snow starts to annoy the two men, so Bangja takes the novelist to his warehouse and continues his tale. Mong Ryong makes Bangja carry all their stuff and brags about winning Chung-young's heart. On top of all that, he declares that he is far above Bangja in terms of status and doesn't consider him a rival. Back at his home, Mr. Ma tells Bangja a tale of how his own teacher slept with over 2,000 women. And how exactly did your teacher die? STD? Anyways, Bangja tells Mr. Ma that he wants to win Chung-young's heart before his master does. So Mr. Ma continues educating him in Womanizing 101. With this, Bangja actually manages to become close to Chung-young. Back at his home, Mr. Ma tells him that Chung-young has written a letter to Master Mong Ryong, a romantic letter dictated by her mother. With his invitation, Mong Ryong goes to her home and enjoys some time with her. On the way back, Mong Ryong continues bragging about making love with Chung-young. He gets up but suddenly has a pain in his stomach. Hearing this, Mr. Ma says that this is a sign that Mong Ryong lied and Bangja should push to win Chung-young's heart ASAP. That night, Mr. Ma helps Bangja sneak into Chung-young's room. Chung-young starts screaming in fear, but Bangja begs her not to do that and calms her down. They start talking, and in the midst of it, Bangja suddenly kisses her. She tries to resist him at first, but Bangja is a bit forceful, and Chung-young is somehow unable to control herself. They make love that night, but despite what she feels for Bangja, Chung-young still wants to marry a rich man, so she tells him that she wants to meet his master. Bangja obliges and Chung-young makes love with Mong Ryong as well, while Bangja and Hangdan listen from the next room. So the next day, Bangja goes to Mr. Ma to learn everything he can from him to win over Chung-ya forever. Elsewhere, Mong Ryong, now happy with his conquest over Chung-young, he makes Bangja bring him a letter which he gave to Chung-young to declare his promise to marry her. So that night, Bangja tries to steal the document. However, Chung-young stops him. When she finds out that Mong Ryong is leaving her, she gives him the paper herself. Bangja says that he will return after a short journey to Seoul. Chung-young promises to wait for him. He goes to give the letter to Mong-ryon, however, it turns out that it's a different letter where Bangja has revealed that he spent a night with Chung-young. He has also declared that he will help his master to get married to Chung-young, with his palm print as a binding signature. The moment Mong-ryon sees the proof of his servant's insubordination, he dismisses Bangja from duty without explaining why. So, Bangja is spirited to work for Chung-young's mother. He continues meeting Chung-young regularly while her mother turns a blind eye to them. Chung-young also started falling for Bangja. Elsewhere in Seoul, Mong-ryon passes his exam and becomes a royal inspector. However, on the day of his graduation, he insults the royal eunuchs. Enraged, the royal court demotes Mong-ryon to a lowly position back in his hometown, assistant to the regional magistrate. His boss, the magistrate, reveals that he's a classic simp who just wants to sleep with women. Mong-ryon arrives in his hometown and stops to eat at a busy restaurant. Hangdang is the proprietor of this place and is actually doing well. She reveals Bangja and Chung-young's relationship to him. They get to talking, and talking gets to lovemaking. However, Mong-ryon is still filled with hatred for Bangja. He goes to meet the magistrate and tells him about Chung-young. He advises him to take Chung-young forcefully if necessary. He then goes to Chung-young's house. Bangja is there and says that since Mong-ryon left her, he should not interfere with her life. Bangja is a little tactless though and speaks in a threatening manner. Later, Mong-ryon does end up meeting Chung-young in secret. After meeting him, she has a wide smile on her face, which Bangja notices. That night, the magistrate also arrives at Chung-young's house. Bangja serves him meat, and the magistrate takes the opportunity to ask about Chung-young. Bangja says that she is sick, but the magistrate is adamant about hearing Chung-young sing. He gets aggressive. Chung-young arrives and then, in a shy manner, tells him that she is too sick to sing today. So the magistrate tells her to pour him his drinks. Chung-young declares that she is no one's servant, and the magistrate slaps her in reply. Bangja stops him and pleads with him to leave her. The magistrate pours his anger on Bangja instead and beats him with a kettle. After that, he commands Chung-young to be arrested. So, with no other option before him, Bangja goes to Mong-ryon and begs for his help. Next, he goes to the town jail and tells Chung-young that he'll get her out soon, despite having little external support. Chung-young cries and hugs him. The next day is a festival day. The magistrate sneaks through the back door to a room where he's kept Chung-young captive like some personal toy. There, he starts revealing his perverted nature. He gropes her and is about to remove her clothes, but just then, Bangja enters the compound. He begs him to let Chung-young go. The guards control him by beating him up. Just then, the royal inspector comes with his agents. It's actually Mong-ryon, who never really got demoted. It was all a ploy to arrest the corrupt magistrate. After that, Mong-ryon, with his face covered, tortures Chung-young on the false claim of being a pleasure girl. Bangja simply cannot watch the scene and intervenes. He gets on his knees and says that Chung-young has a husband. When Mong-ryon, still with his face hidden, asks if Bangja is the husband, Chung-young says no, he is just a servant. So Mong-ryon starts hitting Bangja. So Chung-young brings out the letter from Mong-ryon, where he once declared his promise to marry her. She claims that the man who wrote it betrayed her, and they should give him the letter if he comes back. Saying this, she takes a small knife and stabs herself. Realizing that Chung-young was waiting for him all this time, Mong-ryon takes her and weeps. Later, Bangja, who has been arrested, is visited by Mr. Ma first. He tells him to never beg a woman to stay. After that, Chung-young comes as well, alive and well. She reveals that this was all a ploy between herself and Mong-ryon to arrest the corrupt magistrate. Even Bangja knew about this back when she hugged him in the jail, so she asks him why he still intervened. Bangja simply replies that he was worried for her, that the magistrate might really do something bad. Hearing this, tears fall from her eyes. Finally, he declares his love for her. Without saying anything, she leaves. Later, she leaves for the capital with Mongryong. Before departing, she tells him that she wants Bangja to go with them. Mongryong is understandably hesitant, but she convinces him by threatening to reveal the ploy they just pulled off. On the way, as they play, Mongryong hits the ball too hard and sends it flying. He sends Bangja to retrieve it. When Bangja finds it and comes back, he sees that Mongryong has pushed Chungyang into the stream below. Without a second thought, Bangja jumps in. He saves her and runs away with her. Back to the present, Bangja says that Mongryong kept sending people after him. The novelist regards him with respect for managing to evade them for so long. He then introduces the novelist to Chungyang. She survived the incident, but sustained damage to her brain, because of which she now behaves like a little girl. The novelist is touched by Bangja's tale and says he will write a story called The Love of a Servant, with Bangja as the titular hero. But Bangja does not like that and tells the novelist to beautify the story. He says that Chungyang always waited for Mongryong for all those years. Bangja tells the novelist to write that Chungyang eventually found her happily ever after with Mongryong, just like she wanted for all those years. The novelist asks him why. Bangja replies that Chungyang wanted to spend the rest of her life with Mongryong. She would have loved to finish her fairy tale. He himself is happy to be a hero in his own heart. So he asks him to name the story of Chungyang. Just then, it starts to snow. Bangja asks the novelist to add this beautiful scene to the story as well. For that, he picks up Chungyang and starts singing her a song. But he asks the novelist to write that the man carrying Chungyang right now should be Mongryong. As he sings her the song, he starts getting emotional, while Chungyang swings her head playfully and smiles. We then see scenes from Chungyang's life. And that is how this melancholic tale ends. Check out another video displayed on the screen. If you like this video, subscribe. It's a simple thing, but we'll get to bring more videos to you. And with that, see you soon.